Hey guys, Danny from Garmin, and today we are going to go beyond the basics with the all-new Livescope 2 family of transducers. With them, we've got the 42 HD transducer. That transducer is going to be our high-definition transducer that is going to give us 50% better clarity at closer distances. And then, of course, that 44 is going to give us that long range that we're really looking for when we're pinging minnows and we're trying to throw baits and really see those fish at a distance, locate them, throw a bait at them, and have them come in and eat our baits, basically. And on my setup here, on my boat, I've actually got all of this paired with the Garmin Force Pro trolling motor and, of course, the spy pole. I have my 44 set up on my spy pole, so I can use that spy pole even when I'm anchor locked and track in on those baits and track in on fish at distances. But when I get up close and personal with them, I've got that 42 right there on the trolling motor, so I'm able to get that real defined detail with that 42 once stuff gets close. All right, we're gonna get out on the water here today and we'll be able to go through some of the settings and how I really dialed in my Livescope 2 transducers. But first, let's kind of go through the hardware of these transducers. And one of the great benefits on this Livescope 2 family of transducers, no more black box. We have completely eliminated that black box. Everything is being done right in the transducers. So basically you're gonna have your Livescope transducer, depending on which one you choose, and you're gonna have a cable that comes out of that transducer, and that will split into two. So that's gonna go into power, and then of course that other end is gonna go into the back of your graph, eliminating the need for all of that extra rigging that we had with the original Livescope system. So that is one of the really cool benefits on the new setup of the Livescope 2. Obviously, no black box, that's gonna be incredible. The cool thing with these transducers as well is it's kind of an all new design. So you'll see there's really only two actual transducer surfaces on there, and it allowed us to get a better stitching basically. So it's going to be a lot cleaner image with these on top of the different frequencies we're doing, but we're also able to get wider angles. So we're now going to be 165 degrees when we're in that forward mode, and then we're going to be 180 degrees when we're in that down mode and in that perspective mode. So we're getting a lot more coverage of the water with the new transducer design. You know, one cool thing with Livescope 2 is the all new Livescope 2 transducer mount that it's going to come with in the box. And that mount gives us a lot of features. Obviously going from the forward mode to the down mode, just like we've been used to doing with the Livescope transducers in the past, quickly able just to turn the thumb knob, rotate it down into forward mode, rotate it back into down mode. But also with perspective mode, there's a new feature where we actually have 3 settings now where we're able to go between 3 different settings in perspective mode, giving us a lot more usability into deeper water. So we're able to get perspective mode from real shallow and being able to get down a little bit deeper. So that adjustability is a great added benefit on these new Livescope 2 transducers. All right, well, now that we are out on the water, let's go through some of the settings. And, you know, one of the first ones you can see immediately is the water not detected. And so that's kind of the cool feature in these Livescope 2 transducers is it can tell directly whether it's in the water or it's not. So now if I go ahead and deploy my trolling motor here, as soon as this trolling motor gets in the water with that transducer, you'll be able to see right now on my screen detected that it's in the water, and we're viewing some Livescope. So that's one of the really cool features with that Livescope 2. And now we can kind of roll through some of these settings. So right here I've got the LVS 44 on this actual graph here, and we can go through and go to our menu, and you're going to see a lot of the features are stuff that you're used to. So we've got our gain right up on top, and our gain is what is going to allow us to be able to kind of, you know, see a little bit better or a little bit less with the amount of detail that it's showing us and the amount of power that it's sort of putting towards stuff. So a lot of times we'll kind of run that on like an auto medium or an auto low, but you have a lot of features within there that you're able to use and go ahead and pick your gain. And then also depth range. So depth range is important when, you know, especially in a spot like this, we're on a big bank where we might go from really shallow water to really deep water really quick. Typically we're gonna run that depth range in auto, but sometimes it's nice to be able to go in and actually select that depth range that you wanna run it in. For today, however, we are just gonna run that in auto. And then of course our next range, forward range. So forward range, this is where this LVS 44 is really gonna shine. So we're able to see out to some great distances with this transducer. And so we can go ahead and have, you know, a closer range, giving us more detail, or we're able to kind of zoom it out. In this little bit shallower water today, we're gonna run it in a little bit closer. So right there, we're at about 48 foot range. And then of course our sonar setup, that's where a lot of the finite details are going to be found when you're looking at a Livescope transducer. So appearance, color scheme. Now this is one of those things, everybody has their favorite color scheme. There's a lot of different options in here, from rusted steel to the amber, which is kind of that stock color. I like the black emerald. A lot of people, you know, can go through and just find what color scheme really works for you. And on bright sunny days or cloudy days, you may find something works better for you or not. And then color gain. This is kind of a cool feature too. So this is gonna help stuff kind of stand out a little bit better. So as we bring that color gain up, you can kind of see the targets are gonna get a little bit highlighted, a little bit brighter, stand out more. A lot of times we wanna just run that on default. What I have noticed with Livescope 2, however, with both of the transducers, running that color gain lower than what we used to seems to be kind of a key that I've found with Livescope 2. And then, you know, we've got our reject. So these are kind of our filters, right? So we've got noise reject, we've got ghost reject, and we've got TVG. All of those are just kind of filters that are helping filter out clutter, filter out noise. Now the Livescope 2 does a really, really good job of doing that already, but you can go ahead, if you're getting some noise, we can run that on like medium. We could bring that all the way up to high if we wanted. And, you know, you can kind of just go through and choose what noise reject you want. Sometimes the lower you run it is going to be the better that your picture will be. And then of course with your ghost reject, if you happen to be getting any type of ghost noise, kind of that tree that's coming up, you can go ahead and turn that on. I typically just leave it on auto, that way I never have to worry about it. And then TVG is going to help us kind of clean up that water column. So kind of that area up and down on the water column. You know, typically we want to run that on low or maybe like a medium. I typically run mine on low. And then from there, it really is just kind of setup of how you want to set the screen up. So we can go ahead and change the overlay data. Right now I've got my depth, I've got water temperature, speed, volts, got a lot of information on there. You can actually take some of that information off if you want to. Otherwise you can leave it on right there from your overlay data. Now another thing that you can do is, as you can see with my layout, I'm actually running my grid overlay on hide, so you can't see it. But you are able to go in, turn on that grid overlay. This is great if you're really trying to pinpoint those fish and see exactly what depth they are, what distance they are, so then you know where you can actually go ahead and throw that minnow or that bait as you're trying to target in on those fish. And then scroll history, this is another option that gives you kind of that 2D image basically, or picture beyond the Livescope. So we've got our Livescope on the right here. That's kind of that live image. On the left, we're basically getting almost like a 2D type of image. A lot of people will usually just run that off. And then our on-screen controls. So if I go back to the main screen here, I like to have the on-screen controls on. That's where I can actually see my depth ranges, my distance ranges, and of course the gain. And having those right there on the screen is kind of a nice option because you're able to quickly reach down and just make those adjustments as you need to without having to go back into any sort of menu or anything like that. If I go back into my layout here, we also have a few other options. We can kind of compress that range. So if I go ahead and click on that, you can see how it kind of brings that back range in a little bit tighter. That way we're not seeing out quite as far distance as we would normally behind us, just because these transducers have such a wide cone angle with that 165-degree cone angle. You know, another setting that we have on here that's going to be similar to a setting we've had in the past is under that sonar setup, and we go into appearance, we're gonna have something called color limit. So we've got the color limit here. It's gonna come kind of set down at 0%. We can bring that color limit up, and as you bring it up, it just kind of gives you a little bit more matte or cleaner finish basically on that image. A lot of times that's another feature. Run it on default at 0 unless you're feeling like you need to bring that up a little bit just to kind of clean your image. But running that on default, along with a lot of the settings, is kind of the best settings, just because, you know, the engineers do a really great job of, you know, having these stock out of the box with some of the best settings. But let's go ahead and get fishing here. I feel like that's enough talk about settings. Let's see if we can't catch a few fish today.